like being a writer makes you kind of boring most of the time. It's like, go and sit down at a desk. It's just not usually in such an atmosphere of beauty. My youngest brother died very unexpectedly in 2021. He was 22. This was a terrible rupture in my life and for my family. When you're thinking about the closeness of death to life, like, it does change how you relate to things and change what you want to work on and change how you want to be. So I was actually desperate to say yes to something that would be a kind of period of quiet and reflection and removal. I try to start working as early as possible, although I also always have to give myself some kind of like gentle runway into the day. I have to read and drink coffee, and I can't immediately plunge into working on whatever it is. I was reading an essay collection from the library downstairs called Hold Everything Dear by John Berger, and some of the passages that Merwin had marked were from an essay that is actually considering two artists, but one of them is a Czech photographer, Jitka Hanzlová, who photographed forests around where she grew up for decades. And Berger is meditating on the nature of the forest, and specifically the way that the forest is a space in which different time scales cross. So the trees, but also the animals within it, also the overarching life cycle, and that a human can kind of move through that on their own time scale. And that's maybe the one environment in which we do constantly cross all these different things that are living at such different rates of time. I think it's been impossible to like take a walk around without thinking about the different life cycles of the different trees. I mean, also the overall like life of this piece of land, and the fact that within a single person's lifetime, like, so much has changed here and for the better that it's possible to bring such a variety of life. Perhaps my brother is just like ahead of me on the trail or like off in the trees somewhere. And it's very easy to imagine him showing me things. And I think to the extent that I like feel him, I think there's definitely some sort of like compression or closeness with that I don't always get to have when I'm like moving through the world, with feeling that here's an experience that he would have loved, and if I can enter into it more fully, then I can come closer to him. I do feel sort of clarified, so hopefully that won't completely disappear on the plane ride. It definitely feels that I've taken a lot in here and feel that it must emerge in various ways. I'm really glad to be able to leave something here. I feel very glad to be able to give something to this place. The creative work can expand beyond the need to produce words, and that I can, by existing, move into the work in a way that doesn't have this pressurized, almost panic attached to it. And, then thinking about how many possible lives a person can have, whether it's in different places for little periods of time or whether it's kind of moving around. We were just talking about William's various eras in his life before coming to Hawaii, and I was thinking about how far you can travel, how much can change, and that feels like wonderfully exciting.